What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. Today it's time to test the Osmo Action. I received it a few days ago. I was just waiting for my filters from PolarPro to make a nice review. The audio is the built-in mic and I don't know if it's good or not, but I think yes. So I choose to come back in this location where I make my video about the 13 reasons why I love the Mavic 2 Pro. I chose this location because it's a perfect place to test the Osmo Action because there is some water everywhere and the location is great. A lot of things to do here, so I want to tell you why I like the Osmo Action, the thing that I don't like, some bugs, what I think generally about it, and I will explain you why you need some filters for it and what is the benefit to have filters for it. But first, let's make a nice B-roll to start this video. Let's go! Okay guys, I'm done with this cinematic sequence. Now let's go back home and I will explain you my settings, what I think about this camera, the good things, the bad things, everything. Let's go! Finally arrived at home guys. Now let's talk about the cinematic settings for this type of cinematic sequence. My settings are the following ones. If I want to shoot slow motion, I use 4K 60p, and for normal shot 4K 24p. And also using filters to keep my cinematic settings, and this means ISO 100, shutter speed 50th of a second in 4K 24p, and when I shoot slow motion in 4K 60p, my shutter speed is 120th of a second. I use filter to keep that settings, and the good things about those filters is that with that magnetic system, it's so easy to put it on or off, and you can just keep this package inside your pocket, then change the filters depend of the light conditions, so it's really great and easy. Another thing to know about those filters, if you want to shoot underwater like I did, they are not waterproof, so don't forget to remove the filter if you want to shoot underwater and put the original one. And for my underwater shots, I keep my settings in auto. I just turn on the Disney-like option and then keep the rest in auto, because you can't change your setting underwater, and I was with my selfie sticks, the camera underwater like that. I prefer to leave that in auto, it's better like that. So now let's talk about vlogging. I keep everything in auto, even the white balance. I forgot to mention that I changed the white balance for cinematic sequence too. For vlogging, talking in front of the camera, I just leave everything in auto, normal color profile, and I just put a filter like an ND8 if it's a bright day like today, just to force the camera to don't put the shutter speed really high. So it's a quick tip that I use for all my camera when I'm vlogging, and that way my shutter speed is not really high during bright days, so generally I put an ND8. Now let's talk a little bit about the filter that I use. I use the PolarPro Vivid collection. This means only ND-PL. It starts from ND4PL up to ND64PL. So I get the ND4PL, ND8PL, ND16PL, ND32PL, and ND64PL. And why I use PL filters is because you can remove reflection from the water, from a window, everything where there is reflection, so I really love it. On top of the filter you have that white line, and this means when you put it like that, centered and on top, this means you have a standard polarization. It's the same for the Mavic 2 Pro filter series from PolarPro. You have that white line. This is what it does. For example, here under the water there is a lot of reflection. I just need to turn the filter and boom, it removes it. The benefit of filter is simply for keeping your cinematic settings when you shoot in manual and you want to make cinematic videos. So for example, here I got my setting in 4K 24p, ISO 100, my shutter speed 1/50th of a second, As you can see, it's clearly overexposed. So now let's put an ND 16PL on it. As you can see, the sky is still overexposed. So let's change for an ND 32PL and boom, it's perfect. The exposure is just nothing complain about it. It's perfect. The sky look great. The ground too. That's the benefit of using filters, because you can clearly see without filters you can't keep your cinematic settings. Before talking about my custom setting inside the Osmo Action, I want to tell you the good thing and the bad things about this camera. Let's start with the good things. Good things number one is the dewarp option. That means no fisheye up to 4K 60p, and that's so great because it was the problem with GoPro. You were not able to remove the fisheye except if you film in 2.7K, so it's a great point about the Osmo Action. Good things number two is that all the GoPro accessories working perfectly with the Osmo Action, so if you are like me and you already have some GoPros, you can keep your accessories and mount the Osmo Action on it. Good things number three, it's the rocksteady stabilization. I can't wait to really try it, like riding a bike inside the mountains, whatever, but I can't wait to try it really hard. But as you can see, when I was vlogging, the stabilization was just perfect. Good things number four, it's the fact that this Osmo Action is waterproof up to 11 meters without case, so I really like that. Now let's talk about the bad things, and there are more like bugs than really bad things, and I think DJI will fix that soon with a firmware update. But for now they are here and I need to talk to you about that. So the first one, as you can see here, I saved my 4K 60p settings for when I want to make a slow motion. There is this bugs that the dewarp option to remove the fisheye, it says like it's on, but it's not on. I need to turn it off, on again, off again, and then on again, and it works. And I need to do that every time when I switch to 4K 24p to 4K 60p for making slow motion video. The bad things number two is that there is no dewarp option in slow-mo like 120 or 240. That's why I use 4K 60p for making slow motion, because I don't want to have this fisheye effect. Bad things number three, no rocksteady in HDR mode. It's the same on my Insta360 camera. I don't have the stabilization if I shoot in HDR mode, but I hope they can make it happen one day. Bad things number four, it's about white balance. In all DJI products, when you want to change the white balance, you have those options to choose between sunny, cloudy, things like that. But here you need to change the Kelvin. I would love to have this option, these quick options. If it's sunny, I just put sunny. If it's cloudy, just cloudy. That's another bad things that I found on it. But maybe they're gonna fix this in a next firmware update. And the bad things number five, it's my opinion, but you have this time-lapse option to make time-lapse in 4K video, but you are not able to put Disney-like on it, because I just think it will make them better. It's another bad things for me, in my opinion. Maybe some of you don't care about that, but I would love to have Disney-like available in time-lapse video mode. And that's it for the bad things. So as you can see, it's more like bugs, and I'm sure they're gonna fix that in the next firmware update. It's always like that with DJI. They put some product out, but there is always some bugs or some missed features. So honestly, I'm really not surprised about that, but first they need to fix that 4K 60p dewarp bugs, because it's really annoying. Okay, now last point before my settings. I just want to tell you what I think about this camera and how I plan to use it. Because I got my Sony a7R III and different lenses, the quality is so much better also. I will not use it to film myself vlogging, making cinematic video. I will keep my Sony for that, but I will use it a lot for making action shots or underwater shots, because I really enjoyed to film underwater honestly, and I really impressed by the result. So I will use it mostly like that, and also when I'm on tour as a DJ, because I can't take my Sony with me and all my camera gear with me when I'm on tour as a DJ, but I'm not gonna switch from my Sony to this for vlogging and making cinematic sequence. But I wanted to test it, like if I had nothing, just this camera, if I were able to vlog and make cinematic content with it, because it's really less expensive than a Sony camera with some different lenses. Honestly, I'm really impressed about it. Even after underwater shots, the microphone was working perfectly, so I'm really impressed about that. The answer is yes. If you don't have any camera and you just want to start vlogging and making cinematic sequence, you can clearly do it only with this camera. The quality is not gonna be the same as a camera like the Sony or Canon or whatever, but for making YouTube video it's clearly okay. Now let's take a look about my settings. Let's start here. Voice control is if you want to activate it or not. I activate it sometimes, but not always, because sometimes it can mess up with your voice. If you are talking with someone and you pronounce the bad words, it can turn off the camera or things like that. So I turn it on only when I need. Then for snapshots, if your camera is off and you want to quickly start recording, you just need to press the record button and it's gonna start with the settings that you choose. I choose to start with my custom settings for 4K 60p to make slow motion. Quick switch, it's all my custom mods, the mods that you want to have inside the quick switch option, which is when you click on this button on the side. I turn on the wind noise reduction because it works pretty great. I turn off the sound of the camera because it's really annoying. I turn on the grid, which is the line that you can see here. For cinematic shots it's help you a lot. Anti-flicker auto, screen auto sleep never, auto power off after 10 minutes of no use. I turn on the LED off. You can format the SD card from here, reset all your settings if you want. So here is for the front screen if you want to see the 16:9 ratio or 4:5, which means all the screen. Here you can turn on or off the voice control. Here you can turn on or off the spot metering, which is really useful if you are, for example, inside a car. And this one is for create all your custom mods. You can create 5 different custom mods. I'm full about it because I create 5 different custom mode, and this is it. The first one is 4K 24p with Rocksteady on and auto white balance. I prefer to change this directly in the location. Then you have 4K 60p for slow motion. Then it's my photo settings, 4:3, 2-second timer, JPEG plus RAW. After that I got my AEB for taking HDR photo, and then I got timed shots. It's for making time-lapse with photos, so I set it to 2-second interval for now, but I can change this. And here I got my ISO to 100, and then the shutter speed I change it depend of what I want to achieve. And here I got the dewarp on, JPEG plus RAW, and for the white balance it's the same. I adjust them directly in the location. So this was my review about this Osmo Action from DJI. I will not make another video about it because it's not the way of my channel to make a tons of video about the same product, and I think I tell you all you need to know about it for now. You will see some shot of it during my drone trip, of course, because I will use it for underwater shot or action shots. Another thing I want to tell you is that if you want to be in next week video about this project called All Together All Drones, don't forget to send me your drone footage. You have until tonight to send me 2 of your best drone footage. You can see the condition in this video. Thank you for watching, guys. I wish you a great day, great night, whatever. I don't know what time is it in your country. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like the channel. Hit that bell to receive a notification for my next video, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.